Hey guys, it's Marshall Ting with your Superior Ag Insurance Ringside Report for this past week, the week of May 28th through the June the 3rd. So we have closed out May pretty daggone strong. This cattle market continues to climb, and we have sold some of the highest yearlings, both steers and heifers, that we have seen in quite some time. Now, let's talk about this numbers as a whole now. So as far as your cattle runs, we've sold 11,366 head of cattle. It's down a little bit from this time last week, but if you compare it on a yearly basis, you're going to be actually up 3,000 head, which getting right into June, that's a really big jump. That's just going to show that this cattle market remains strong and your producers are still bringing these cattle to town to be marketed. Now, what are they worth? So we're going to call your feeder steers this past week unevenly steady, anywhere from $3 lower to $4 higher. Now, as far as your heifers and bullets are concerned, they're going to be a steady $2 to $4 higher across the board. Now, what we are seeing a little bit on this steer deal is you're just seeing a little bit more buyer selectivity. These sure enough good cattle, weaned, preconditioned, ready to go, they are bringing a premium that's higher than what we saw last week. But again, if they're a little bit plainer or balling this heat, the heat can sure enough have an effect on an unweaned calf, and that's what you're seeing too. So let's talk about these little 4-weight cattle. So your 4-weight cattle this week, I want to call them on average 245 to 250, but as a top, they topped off at 287, which is higher than what it was this time last week. Now, as far as your 5-weight steer cattle, I'm going to call them an average of 240. Now, you've got a range of 235 to 245 as an average, but I'm going to hit it right in the middle and give you a 240 on them. Now, as far as your high on those, 275.50 is your high on your 5-weight steer, which really isn't too bad, but you are starting to see that pound gap or your dollar per pound gap really start to spread out on your 4 and 5 weights. It's been pretty steady the last couple of weeks, but now you did see a big spread on theirs. But let's talk about these yearlings now. We have sold some big 8-weight steer cattle, and we have sold some heifer cattle that have been highest we've seen in quite some time, and we have blown the doors off the CME Feeder Cattle Index on these highs. So check these numbers out real fast. So talk about your steer cattle first. Here's your first set. Here's 65 head of black steers, 812 pounds on the average, 215. That's a phenomenal trade on those things. Now, check this out. Here's your nose setup. These are going to be your Charolais crosses now. 63 head of these Charolais cross steers, 826 on the average at 210.40. Still not too shabby for a set of Charolais compared to blacks. Now, here's blacks and reds. Here's 57 head of these, 875 pounds on the average at 210. But check these things out, guys. Here's a big string of them. Here's 120 head of all black steers, 904 pounds. So right there on the bottom side of that 9 weight's 213. That is a phenomenal trade. But you think that's good? Check out this heifer cattle market. This heifer cattle deal has been on fire this past week, and check these numbers right here out. Here's a big set of heifers. Here's 84 head of heifers. These are all black heifers, 544 pounds on average. Ready for this? 238 flat. Now let's go up to your big 6-weight heifers. Here's 82 head of these. These are all black heifers as well, 666 pounds on the average. Ready for this? 235 on a big set of 666s now. And then close out, here's a big set of them. Here's 50 head of black heifers as well, just a hair heavier. They're going to be 695 at 228. So that is a phenomenal trade. Now, just to give you an idea of comparison on what that is, your CME Feeder Cattle Index as a whole, the highest it's been all week on our heifer category is right at 187.26. So there's a big gap between 235 and 187.26. Just saying. Now, let's talk about what your steer cattle market's doing as far as your CME Feeder Cattle Index is. It still, too, is a far cry from 212, 215, and 210. So check this out. So Monday, this will be May 29th, close out May, 207.61. Tuesday the 30th, 207.18. Wednesday the 31st, 208.07. Thursday the 1st, 208.04. So pretty steady. But like I said, our top of our line Kentucky cattle are sure enough blowing the doors off that CME Feeder Cattle Index. So if you have any questions about what's going on in the market, or if you are interested in the LRP policy, a livestock risk protection policy, there's no better time than right now. There's a lot of dollars invested on these cattle, both putting them in and when you sell them, that'll be a perfect time for an LRP. Call the guys. Call Ian Thomas at 859-613-2453, or call Adam Shoemaker at 859-338-4116, or check them out on the web, www.superioragins.com. Thank you so much. Stay cool out there. We'll talk to you soon.